In this podcast, we're going to be talking about our experiences in coming into Mexico for the first time. So please tell us your name, where you lived in the U.S., and how long you lived in the U.S. for.
My name is Manny Montoya. I was Manuel Montoya. Um, I was in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
I came to Mexico when I was almost 20 years old. So probably like 19 and a half years of
Oh,
age, I came here to Mexico. When I first stepped into Mexico, when I first stepped into Mexico,
so you're
it
so,
was a drastic change for me.
right. So you're from Salt Lake, Utah. You were there for 20 years, and then now you're here in Ensenada. So obviously you came to Mexico, maybe voluntarily or involuntarily. So how did you exactly end up here now? Working where you work here in Ensenada. What brought you here to Ensenada?
Um, I'm not from Salt Lake City. I was raised there.
Okay,
Uh, I was born in Sinaloa,
okay.
but I did come voluntarily with my dad.
You came with the notion that you're not gonna be able to go back because you're not
That is
born there.
correct. That is
Damn. So
correct.
that's a big choice that you made. A big choice. You know.
But the choice was worth it.
Yeah.
It was a drastic change.
Yeah.
Um, it is completely different
Oh, I bet.
lifestyle here in Mexico than in the U.S.
Right.
But it was for my good.
Okay.
Um, so I came down to Mexico with my dad. He's the one that invited me to come. Uh,
To Sinaloa.
no. First we hit Oaxaca.
Okay.
Then we went to various parts here in the Mexican Republic, and I ended up here in Ensenada,
Okay.
where I met my wife, got married, and I have two daughters
Okay.
now. But yes, it's a huge change. It's a big change.
And being so you came voluntarily, knowing that you were not. Yeah, maybe it would be difficult if you ever wanted to go back. And you met your wife, and so obviously you have your roots here now. I'm guessing in Ensenada. How long have you been here in Ensenada?
Well, I am 36 years old. Uh, let's
So
say
you got here to Mexico when you were like 20,
almost.
almost
So like
20.
19 and a half.
So basically almost 20 years,
Uh,
16, give or take, 15.
like 16 years.
Yeah, pushing 20 years almost here. So you're basically the rest of your life is gonna be here in Mexico, pretty much.
Yes. The way I see it, most likely it is going to be that like that. Um, right now, I have a property of my own.
Okay, that's good.
Um, so if I ever do go to the U.S., uh, I'm not thinking of going over there and abandoning or leaving my my country, which my country is here in Mexico.
Right.
Um,
So you're
you
talking
know,
about going back illegally or legally or some.
no, I think if I do go back, it will be legally, uh, but it would be just to make my property grow
Right.
here in
Just
Mexico.
to build up your financial wealth here, not necessarily to stay over there.
That is correct.
That's cool. I mean, so you came here when you were pretty young. I know a lot of people that came here as already grown-ups, adults. People that have families over there. But what's one of the things that you recommend people? Because a lot of people come here and they're thinking just of the situation that they're in. They can't focus on, okay, I'm going to be here for X amount of years. Maybe I should start focusing on saving up money for a property. Maybe I should start saving money up for a car. A lot of people still don't have the idea of, you know what, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm gonna go back, and they're still not processing everything. So what's one thing that you recommend for somebody that gets here day one? Like, what should they start? Obviously, it's hard to focus, because of the change. But what's one thing you recommend to people that they should start doing? Focus on this when you get here. You're gonna be maybe suffering, going through some bad times, but if you can, try to do this, get this done, focus on this, because since you're not sure if you're gonna be here for the long run, work on this just in case. What do you think that would be?
I really do like a saying that says something like this, and I always have it in my head: do the best with what you have.
Yeah,
So if you're already in a foreign country,
right,
being here in Mexico or any other place,
right,
you know, you're there already,
yeah, yeah,
you know, and if you're here because you came with, you know, because you wanted to come with your own will, or being deported,
right.
um, whatever the case may be, well,
Well,
just do
make the most of what you have.
exactly.
Well, I mean, you have maybe, I don't know if you had like a lot of folk coming with your dad, coming to be with your dad. Maybe you had some, somewhere to go, somewhere to sleep, somewhere to stay. But a lot of people, maybe they come here and they don't have anything. They don't have where to go to work. You know, maybe they have a place to stay temporarily. In the middle of that, what do you think they should be trying to do to make life easier? Because they're gonna have to do something. Maybe like get a car, or get your license, or get this. What's one thing you think, like well, if you're here already, you're gonna be here, whether or not if you're gonna be here for a year, or 5 years, or 10 years, or what, this is gonna be the rest of your life. What's one thing that you try to get like as soon as possible, to help benefit their their life here, that they're gonna be here.
Don't live in the past.
Okay.
Your past should be learning experiences, but your past should not be something you should dwell upon. Dwell upon. Um, in other words, you lived what you lived.
Right.
Now, I lived what I lived. Now I'm in Mexico.
Right.
Do not dwell in what my life could have been.
Yeah, of course.
I'm here now. The moment is now, and what I do now, what I do today, will reflect what will I what I will become tomorrow.
Yeah.
So don't dwell in the past. Use it as a learning experience. Um, it's now, it's today, and do the most of it.
Yeah.
Be positive. I always say I have a daughter. She daily we inject her. It's something we have to do daily.
Okay.
Okay, it's a health issue.
Okay.
So she has to receive injections day to day. Um, and I tell her, well, you're going to receive the injection anyway. Might as well just get over it. Sorry, might as well just get it over with.
Right. Right. That's different.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so we're here in Mexico. We're here. She's gonna receive the injection anyway, no matter what happens. Happy, smiling, crying, whatever. But she's gonna receive it. We're
Right.
here already. You
Yeah,
know.
definitely. And as far as, I mean, thanks for sharing that. That's pretty that's personal. And so it sounds like you're saying the one thing you should get is, just get it in your head that you just have to move forward. Don't think about the past and why you got here. Just focus on the now. Maybe grab life by the horns, and just keep on living, and just keep doing your best.
That is correct.
Okay. And what kind of work did you get here specifically in Ensenada? Because this is more for people that get here to Ensenada and to Baja California. Like, what type of work did you have in the past? Did you always work at call centers?
No, no. When
Because
I first came here to Ensenada, no, to Mexico, I went to Oaxaca.
right.
Um, I worked at a hotel as a bellboy.
So before you can, so did you try to use your language, the English,
Yeah,
as a skill?
yeah. Actually, it was
Okay.
pretty difficult for me when I came to Mexico to
Did you try to get work like I don't know, like if you had work in the U.S., but did you try to get the same sort of work that you did there here at all?
no,
No. Okay. Did you just try to work wherever?
wherever I had the chance to.
Okay.
Okay, because when I came to Mexico, I actually had no papers, no documents. I had nothing.
Here,
I didn't even have an ID.
right? Yeah, that's a lot of
Um,
uh, something that people. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, go ahead.
so wherever they took me in, I got it. Luckily, it was at a hotel. I could use my English there.
Right.
Um,
What was the name of the hotel? Do you remember?
I think it was Hotel Santa Fe,
In what state? Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, Puerto Escondido.
Ah, okay. All right. That's cool. And then you try to. How long did you work there for?
It was a couple months actually. Then we left Oaxaca. We went to Sinaloa.
Ah, okay.
Um, I worked at polleria.
Ah, what'd you do there?
Um, I was just a helper.
Okay.
So basically, I would just bring the plates to the people who got there, serve them, just help them out, whatever they needed.
Oh, so it's like a restaurant, or
It was like a mini restaurant.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Um, and then I came down here to Ensenada,
Okay.
and first place I worked in was Navico.
Navico. Okay. What kind of place is that?
It's a factory.
Okay.
Actually, they make plane parts.
Ah, okay. Is it the one here off of Reforma?
Uh-huh.
Right before
Electro.
Delante? No?
No, no,
No, it's
no.
another one.
Electronica Lawrence.
Ah, okay, no. But it's off of
The
Reforma.
one where Ley is.
Mm-hmm. Lay in Reforma. Oh, down there.
Ajá.
Okay. That's kind of by going by where I live. That's
En
yeah.
Valle Verde.
Oh no, that's up here.
Ajá.
Okay. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that one off the top of my head, but okay. And
So that's where I worked at. Eh, Um, then I went on my mission because I'm LDS. So I went on my mission to Monterrey for
okay.
2 years.
And
Then
what's LDS?
uh, it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're on a mission.
Mhm. Yes. So I came back from my mission 2 years later, and let's say probably like 6 months after coming back from my mission, 6 to 8 months, I got married and well, made my family.
Okay.
And now I'm here at a call center.
And you've been here jumping around from call centers, or because this is not your first call center,
No, it's the second one.
second call center. So really in Ensenada, your work history we can say was that factory, and then your two call centers,
And selling. We sell
and
pastries.
obviously you're famous here for selling your pastries,
Uh-huh.
which everybody loves. Uh, if anybody sees you, because I'm pretty sure people will see this video, if they see you on the streets, you know everybody buys some stuff off of Manny because he makes the best pastries. Uh,
My wife.
his wife, he helps sell them. But you're a big face of the business. You're out here hustling, doing making your sales. It's pretty good. So, what would you recommend to somebody? When they get here, would you recommend them to work where you worked at that factory? Were you using like your English speaking skills, or was it just some place that they were hiring long ago?
No, it was just a place that they were hiring. I did not use
Okay,
my English there.
okay.
Um,
What's
But
what's your take on working in call centers? Because a lot of people that come here, since they speak English, they try to get into call centers, and there's a lot here in Baja California and TJ, and here in Ensenada, there's not as many. But what's your take on working in call centers?
I really think it's a great place to work at.
Okay.
It's not hard at all. The only thing you actually need to do is just not get fed up being
Right.
on the phone all day.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
Honestly, um, you'll be speaking all day, and you will be on the phone all day. But that's what we get paid for. We
Yeah.
get paid to be on the phone all day.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I like it. It's not a hard job.
Is it better paying than working like any other kind of job, like here in town, like maybe working, I don't know, at a grocery store, or working even at a bank? You know, would you say that the pay is higher, about the same in that aspect? What do you think from your experience? And then I'll tell you mine.
My experience, yes, it is a little bit higher. Um, but you know, I think I think it can vary though.
Hmm.
It can vary um,
Yeah,
due
it
to
definitely can vary depending. Yeah,
uh-huh,
yeah,
so there's a lot of factors.
right.
You know,
Let's just talk about base pay. Like, let's not talk about commissions. Just working at a regular call center. Would you recommend it to anybody, or would you say, you know what, just
honestly, anyone that speaks English, yes, I would recommend it.
hmm
Uh, BPO, which is the second call center I've worked in, I think it's a great place. Honestly,
yeah, I
um,
think so too.
you know, a, a lot of call centers don't give Social Security,
That's true. That's
and
true.
that's something that I actually needed, and I need
That is,
because of my family.
of course, and I want
You
to get
know,
into that. I want to segue into that. That's a very big thing that I think we need to cover. Maybe like on another part is being established here. If you're gonna live here, I don't want to say if. I keep saying like if you're the rest of your life. I mean, you're living here now. Anywhere, I'm pretty sure you would want some sort of benefits from your job, right? And not all call centers offer that. And I think that's one key takeaway that I would like to talk about too. Maybe if we have time later, also into those kind of details, because this podcast is also to give insightful information that a lot of people probably never take into consideration when they get here, and maybe that'll help them make up their minds when it comes down to looking for a job. Maybe they rather work somewhere where they're making less money and will be offered some sort of benefit because they want to live here, they're going to live here, they want to make the most out of their time. You have the time.
12:47, my man.
All right. So okay, so I mean, I'll tell you my experience real quick in call centers. I think they're good. For anybody that speaks English, the doors are wide open. Uh, if you're gonna go to your first interview, be polite. Be punctual. Don't take these job offers lightly. You are gonna need money. They're really good paying jobs, and go in with your best foot forward, and don't get frustrated easily because in these companies, it's very easily to get let go of. It doesn't take a supervisor or who's ever running the place to just let you go because of your performance, attitude, or punctuality. So BPO is a great place. It's probably one of the better places that I've worked at. Um, but there's a lot of other places that aren't so great, that are very easy to get fired from because of supervision. The demand, the I guess just the pressure also, and a lot of people here that come already with a lot of stress just from living here, from leaving their home. They're already stressed enough as it is, so they go into a place that's very stressful to begin with, and a lot of them don't end up making it. They quit. They go to another call center. So I mean, I recommend if you're gonna go into a call center, don't think it's gonna be a piece of cake. Take advantage of it, of the opportunity if you get offered the opportunity. And one thing you should really know is that a lot of these places don't offer social security. Like over there, you go to any job, they offer you social security, your benefits, all of that good stuff. Here, and I'm just talking about call centers, because most other places you go here, like Home Depot, Costco, grocery stores, wherever, you're going to get your social security. But here in call centers, it's basically like you're getting paid cash for like a gig job. So if you're one of those people that care a lot about your social security, your savings, you want to be able to go to the bank, get a loan, you're not going to have all of those requirements when you go to that establishment, because it's like you're just getting paid cash here. So if that's something that you care a lot about, it might be best for you to go somewhere where like Costco, Home Depot. They're not always hiring, but there's Costco and Home Depot here, Sam's Club, a lot of big box stores, and your regular grocery stores, or what have you. So that's something to think about. I think for the general public that gets here for the first time, they might not even they might not even be taking that into consideration until months or maybe a year or two down the line, when they're like, oh man, it's going to be so hard to establish my credit. I wasted 2 years working, call center to call center, and I don't have any like work history. They're not going to validate you working at a call center as work history, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to get that in there too as well. But so now, like, so you said you have you're trying to get land, or you have land, you have property here,
I have one.
you have land here, so you're already paying that off.
That is correct.
And how was that process for you? Did you pay cash? Did you get a loan? How
No,
long
it's
did that take
cash.
you?
It's cash. I am paying cash.
Right.
Um, and having this job really helps me out with that. And having the side job, which is well, selling the pastries,
Right.
that also helps me out. Um, but yeah, retaking what you said about you know, call centers. That's actually a reason why I really do enjoy working here at BPO, because of that.
Right.
Because you know, I felt this place a legitimate place.
Right. This is
You
like
know,
it is a legitimate place to work at.
um, no matter where you go, there's gonna be pros, there's gonna be cons.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, but you know, I always try to look at the pros.
Yeah.
You know, leave aside the cons, because there's many things that can bring us down, and so I try to look at the positive side of everything.
hmm And going back to when you lived in the U.S. in Utah, uh, something brought you here, and you said you came here by choice. But what's one thing that you recommend, or a piece of advice you have for people that are in the U.S. that maybe they don't know that the next choice they make is going to be the choice that lands them here in Mexico? But what's your advice to the people out there that are just not thinking very much about the opportunity that they have over there, and you know basically throwing the opportunity that they have to the trash? What's your advice to somebody out there that doesn't have papers, that was there since they were a kid, thinking that this will never happen to them? What sort
I,
of
I
advice would you give to them?
I think it's hard, to be honest with you, and I'll tell you why. Because I see it with my own daughter.
Right.
Um, Now she's already going into her teenage years.
Right.
Um, she was raised with her parents, with her sisters. And I guess we all can say, you go into your teenage years, and you enter into a stage of rebellion.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, um, but I think it was this past week or 2 weeks ago where she went with a group of the youth in our church
Okay.
to a what's it called? Orphanage
Oh, okay.
here in Ensenada. And the orphanage, the kids there, they all, the majority of them, had some sort of disability.
Okay.
So when she went over there, man, she saw the situation, they were living in, uh, their stay, and some of the kids, actually spoke about them wanting to go home, listening to experiences. She got very sentimental
Okay.
when she got home, and she, you know, spoke about her experience. She actually cried,
Okay.
and she told me, "I don't value what I have."
Okay.
So I think that's something that happens to many, many of us that live, um, in the U.S. or anywhere,
Right. Not just in the U.S.
anywhere, you know, where we are in good hands,
Yeah.
you know. And since we're raised, you know, in good hands, we don't see, the other part.
Right.
Since we don't see it, we don't value what we have.
Yeah. You don't think about.
And I think that's something that happened to me when I was living over there.
Okay.
I did not value it, you know. And I look at my daughter, and till a certain point, I see me, It's like, well, she doesn't know that, how it's like not to live with a family,
Yeah.
you know. And yes, she enters into a stage of rebellion, um, for whatever reason, but it's something that she shares. She like, I just don't value it, and I did the same thing. I did not value living, in the U.S. You know,
Were you didn't evaluate house and like you didn't know how great we had it, or were you just getting in trouble? Um, did you just not see like the the potential and the opportunity that you had over there? You have a lot of potential and uh, opportunity here as well. But I mean, over there, I just think we feel like nothing bad is ever gonna happen to
uh
us.
huh. Yes, in this case, wherever you go, if you put your mind to it, you can do it, no matter where you're at.
Right.
But I found out that here, it's you have to fight a little more for it.
Oh
You have
yeah.
to strive.
You really have to
Um,
like um, work for what you have.
mhm.
It's not gonna be given to you as easily. Not everything's gonna be so accommodating. And I think here you value it. You value everything a little bit more. I'm not saying that nobody here uh, is a bad character, but yeah, there's people here that don't value even the opportunities that they have here. But over here, if you really want something good, you want to have a nice time with your family, it's gonna maybe cost you a little bit more than it
Effort.
does over more effort. Yeah, because it's relative, obviously, money. But to get that money, it's gonna cost you a little bit more effort. And you can't just say let's travel from point A to point B. It's gonna come at a cost. So you really plan things a lot better here, I think, as well.
12:57.
All right. So I mean, I like having these sort of conversations. I don't know about you. Um, I think there's a little bit more that we can get into and do like a part two and see how that goes. I think there's probably a couple of things I want to ask you for part two. And yeah, man, it can get really deep. I think it can get really deep, and I think that's what the purpose of this podcast is for. This little series is to also help others reflect that maybe are not in this stage yet and can maybe save themselves the trouble of having to go to this stage, and also help people that are already here in this stage uh, continue moving forward and making the best with what they have. Cool.
Thank you, my man.
No worries, man. Thank you too. We'll cut it there today.